Okay, so we have officially finished lesson 4, and the packet is a little out of order. So it starts off with unit 5, lesson 5, cumulative practice problems. So let's take a look at question 1. It tells you to write each subtraction equation as an addition equation. So all you guys are going to do is rewrite each of these as addition equations. Now, it's a couple of ways to do this. For the first example, we have a minus 9 is equal to 6. So one way you can write this is a plus a negative 9 is equal to 6. Or you can literally rearrange these two and write it as 9 minus a is equal to 6. So negative 9 plus a is equal to 6. And you'll do the same thing for these other equations. So let's take a look at, so B, we have P minus 20 is equal to 30. C, you have Z minus a negative 12 is equal to 15. Here, guys, you really could just put a plus sign. So you can do Z plus a negative 12 is equal to 15. Or you can rewrite this as negative 12 plus Z is equal to 15. And then D, you guys have X minus a negative 7 is equal to a negative 10. Okay, so that's all you guys are doing for question 1. Question 2 is just find each difference. If you get stuck, consider drawing a number line. So we have 9 minus 4. Again, you just simplify each of these expressions. Then we have 4 minus 9. Then you have 9 minus a negative 4. We have negative 4 minus a negative 9. E, we have negative 9 minus 4. G, we have negative 4 minus a negative 9. And then finally, we have negative 4 minus 9. If you guys are completing the PowerPoint, I already added the um, number lines in case you need it. But if you don't, then you don't have to draw a set of number lines. Okay. Now let's look at the next problem. It says a restaurant bill is $59 and you pay $72. What is the percent of gratuity? So on this one, guys, you do not have to complete. You do not have to do number 3. So you can put an X through that. Okay. Um, Question 4 is asking you to find the solution to each of these mentally. So you're solving for each variable. So you guys should be able to go ahead and do that. These are one-step equations. So we have 30 plus a is equal to 40. I'm sorry. So you're going to solve for a. B, we have 500 plus b is equal to 200. So you're going to solve for b. C, we have negative 1 plus C is equal to a negative 2. Again, you're going to solve for C. And then D, we have D plus 3,567 is equal to 0. And here you're going to solve for D. Okay. So again, put an X through question 3 because you guys don't have to complete it. Question 4, you should be able to solve. It's a one-step equation. And then question 5, you don't have to complete this table. So you can put an X through question 5. So we're not doing this particular problem. Okay. So that's cumulative practice problems. Again, we're looking at Unit 5, Lesson 5, cumulative practice problems. Now, the next assignment in the packet is actually Unit 6. Lesson 6. So Unit 5, Lesson 6, cumulative practice problems. Let's take a look at those. Question 1 is ask you to write a sentence to answer each of these questions. So how much warmer is 82 than 40? So again, you're going to rewrite this. Write a sentence to answer each of these questions. So you'll write the answer in sentence form. B is asking you how much warmer is 82 to negative 40. So it's the same, similar question, only difference is 40 turned to a negative value. Question 2, guys, is very similar to the lessons we've been doing all week. It asks us that what is the difference in height between 30 meters up a cliff and 87 meters up a cliff? Remember that difference means that you're going to subtract. So anytime you see this word here, difference, you should be subtracting. And distance here means that you're going to take the absolute value. So what is the distance between these two positions? You will take the absolute value. So you're doing the same thing that you did for question 1, except this time we're going to take the absolute value, which means your answer will have to be positive. Part B, it said, what is the difference? Again, anytime you see this word difference, I mean that we're subtracting. And the height between the albatross flying at 100 meters above the surface of the ocean and the shark swimming at 30 meters below the surface. So again, you're going to find the difference. So you're going to subtract. And then when they ask you for the distance, you're going to take the absolute value of those two values, which you're looking at 130 meters. Question four, it said company produces screens of different sizes based on the table. Could there be a relationship? So again, this question is very similar to a couple other ones that was in the packet. You guys do not have to do question three. Okay. So you can put an X to question three. All right, let's keep going. Question four, find each difference. So you guys should be able to go ahead and do this. Again, you just simplify each of these expressions. For these two over here on the right, with the fractions, I would definitely go to Desmond's calculator. And again, if you don't know how to get to the website, I have it posted on Verge. Question five, they're asking you about percentages. So five, you guys don't have to do because it's not really relevant to the lesson we've been teaching. And then six is asking you about polygons and which ones are to scale. So you guys do not have to do five or six. Okay. So that is the next thing that was in the packet. Finally, you guys then have to look at Unit 5, Lesson 7. Finally, we're looking at Unit 5, Lesson 7, cumulative practice problems. Um, we have a table. It says the table shows four transactions and resultant account balance in the bank account, except some numbers are missing. Find the missing numbers. Guys, you have to work backwards for transaction 3 and 4. So for transaction 1, we started with 360. We ended with 360, which means I didn't do anything. We didn't spend any money, and I didn't add add any money. Transaction 2, it says we have negative $22.50. So something happened here, right? So we started with 360 and we ended with a negative $22.50. And now my new balance. So what it's saying is I started with 360. I spent $22.50. So my new balance is $337.50. And so again, from here, the account balance, you got to figure out what happened if you had started with $337 and you ended with 182. So we should be subtracting for transaction 3 and transaction 4. I started with $182. I'm ending with negative 41, which means again I subtracted. So that's what you got to figure out in transaction 3 and 4. How much did they subtract? Question 2. The departure from average is the difference between the actual amount of rain and the average amount of rain for a given month. The historic average for the rainfall in Albatross is in June or July. So A says the last June only 0.17 inches of rain fell. What is the difference? So you guys are going to subtract from June to last June. So this June, last June to the new one. For B, it says the departure from average rainfall last July was negative 0.36. So again, you using this July compared to this one, you're going to find the difference. The last question say how much rain will have to fall in August so that the total amount of rain equals the average rainfall for the 3 months. Remember, average is adding all three values together and divide by 3. And then it asks what would the departure from the average be in August in this situation. 3 is pretty straightforward. How much higher is 504? So all of these guys, you pretty much finding the distance in between. Question 4, again, looking at percentages. I think you guys can do this question. So it says Tyler ordered a meal, cost $15. The tax is 6.6. So you're gonna times 6.6%, or you can convert this to a decimal by $15. And I'll figure that out. And it says Tyler also wants to leave a tip for the server. So how much you think he should pay and all. And this is really just whatever number you come up with, just kind of explain why you came up with that value. Question 5, we back to looking at charts. In a video game, a character is healed at a constant rate as long as they are standing in the circle to complete the table. So from 4 to 100, this is like a multiplication style problem, guys. So you do not have to do question 5. And again, this will be finishing off all the cumulative practice problems before you guys get to lesson 5. If you have any additional questions, please ask me during class time.